I come today to bring you a very simple message. Iran must be free. The dictatorship must be destroyed. Containment is appeasement, and appeasement is surrender. The only practical goal is to support a movement to free Iran. Any other goal will leave a dictatorship finding ways to get around any agreement and to lie about everything. After all, a dictatorship that appoints as its justice minister someone who killed 30,000 people is telling you everything you need to know about the core nature of the dictatorship. This is a regime which thinks it's justice to kill 30,000 people. This is a regime which thinks it's justice to have an election where no one is allowed to run. This is a regime which threatens all of its dissidents, all of its critics, with jail at best and death at worst. I've come here several years, and I have been impressed with the growth of the movement, the dedication of the movement, and I've been impressed with some victories that are very real. The 3,000 people you just saw in Albania are an enormous victory over the dictatorship. Remember, I watched for several years, and I was part of the group that would write letters and try to get the government to move, and under President Obama, that was extraordinarily difficult. People who knew the story, people who'd been involved. And the dictatorship was determined to kill everyone. And when they failed, they now have 3,000 warriors for freedom in Albania who understand that we have to replace the dictatorship, and that is a serious defeat for the current leadership in Tehran. Now, it goes deeper. Freedom ultimately involves charismatic leaders who communicate both a sense of hope, a vision of a better future, a moral cause, and an ability to connect with people. In our country, that was George Washington and his young supporter, the Marquis de Lafayette. In Italy, it was Garibaldi. I can tell you from years of having come here that in history, that the name of your president-elect, Maryam Rajavi, will go down in the same tradition of fighters for freedom as Washington, Lafayette, and Garibaldi. And I hope she doesn't mind me saying this. I hope she agrees with me. It's not just because she is a great leader, although she is. And she's persisted in difficult times and in frustration when it took enormous patience. But she's a great leader because she has great followers, because so many of you are so dedicated. And when I drove in a little while ago and I saw the number of buses, and when I stand here and I look all the way back at the number of people dedicated to freedom in Iran, I know that this movement is going to be a movement that goes down in history as one of the great examples of the human spirit defeating the evils of dictatorship. And so I thank each of you on her behalf for helping make her a truly historic figure, because that's what you're doing. So I believe we will win. I believe we will win together. I believe we will win for freedom. And I believe you will someday be proud to say, you were part of what freed Iran. Thank you, good luck, and God bless you.